Hey, it's the Chief, bonding with board games with Judd Vance.
Ham tag.
You're still ham tagging it. And I've played the Panic system, but I haven't played the Panic system with Star Trek. So why am I here? I'm here to defend the concept. Go ahead. First, just give a little hit, and then you can explain it.
Well, it's based, if you played Castle Panic or Dead Panic, it's based on that system.
Tower defense.
Yes.
Boom.
So, got enemies coming in at you, just like if you're familiar with the system. We'll get into that in a second.
Judd's going to go show you how the little mechanics work. Then we'll come back. He'll give his opinion. I'll play it in a little bit. I haven't played it yet. But I want to come back, and just from what I may have heard from a church mouse, I want to do a little defensive concept. All right, see you guys in a bit.
Alrighty, here is a look at the game. Here is the really cool looking model of the most awesome Enterprise, the most awesome of all the Star Trek ships ever to grace that show. I start off 3 units on the board, a Tholian, Romulan, and Klingon. You rolled to see which one goes where in which one of these places. You'd pick out a mission card over here. Shuffle them up. I went on and picked this one. It's Distress Signal. It's 5 turns long, so I have to put the marker at 5. You have to put the disabled ship out there. You roll a die and place it randomly. And then you have a mission objective. You have to move this ship, but when you move forward, anybody in your front arc will pull forward 1 spot closer. So you're going to have to move forward twice as your maneuver, which I'll talk about in a second. And then you're going to have to commit a card with that red symbol, one of them, and one with that gold symbol. And then as a reward, you may repair up to 2 hull and or shield sections or rebuild 1 hull section. Okay, you got 5 turns to do this. So what you do in a normal turn is you draw up to your hand limit. That depends on the number of players. So you draw these cards. If you have a new mission reveal, you'd reveal it. And then you can trade a card, 1 card, with anybody, so it's a cooperative game. And then you're going to play your cards in any order and maneuver the ship in any order. The way you maneuver is, you get 60-degree turn, or you can say I'm going to move forward 1, and then these guys would do this. These guys in the back, they don't disappear. If he's here, he doesn't do this. A bit odd, but oh well. So you have a choice of maneuver. You can shoot, maneuver, shoot, however you want to do it. You have these cards. I'm going to give you an example. Here is your basic fire card. See these marked sections? There's 3 rings and 6 different arcs. That is saying if an enemy ship is relative to here, you do a point of damage to them. So let me pull the Klingon over here just for grins. Or let's say it's here. And you rotate it. Now he's in your arc. You do 1 point of damage. You see this 1, 2, 3. He starts off with his biggest number facing the Enterprise. I don't know if you can see that 3, so I'll pull him in. Klingon battlecruiser. You do a point of damage and you flip him to the 2. Next shot, if you had 1, you flip him to the 1. The next shot eliminates him off the board. Okay, so that's an example of how that card works. If you had it in the middle section, any 360 degrees, you hit anybody. You pick a target, and that's who you hit. Now notice at the bottom of these cards, some of these have markings. Red, I could play this card to shoot somebody at mid-range, or I can put it over here and meet my mission objective of playing 1 card with this and a gold card, which now, of course, they're a gold symbol. And here's some more examples of cards. Time travel. Look through the top 10 in the discard pile. Choose 1 card. Add it to your hand. Notice you have a blue symbol here. If your mission called for that. Tritanium, which was the metal used on the starships, which is a bit odd with this card. Repair 1 damaged hull or play with a dilithium to destroy 1 hull or shield. And I'll talk about how to damage here in just a second. Okay, there's some phaser cards. So anyways, this is just an example of the cards. Play them in any order you want. Shoot, turn, shoot, hit them with another shot if you can. But you get 1 maneuver, play as many cards as you want out of your hand. Okay, then it's time for the bad guys to move. So I'll put it all back like it originally was. All the bad guys on the board are going to move 1 space closer to you. So there's the Klingon. This is the Tholian. This is the Romulan. They're all going to shoot. Okay, these shields here haven't taken any damage. So you put these shield damage markers on there. Boom. A little tough to fit, but yeah, you put them on all three of these. If there was two ships, they don't both do a damage. It's just like everybody's firing and it did one damage to the shield. Okay? If it was already damaged, like let's say the next turn, and I don't rotate the ship, they move in, they hit it again. Now I pull this shield piece off of here, like here's a side shield. You just pull it off, and now the ship is exposed until you actually repair the shield. The next hit after that, so later on in the game, I've pulled this shield off, for example. The next hit will hit the hull. So you put a hull damage on there. And then the one after that will destroy hull. So you would put that on. You have 6 destroyed sections, you lose the game. You have cards in here that can repair them. You saw the titanium. It can remove a damage or combine it with dilithium to fix this. Dilithium will fix a damage on a shield, or combine it with titanium to put a shield piece back on here. Okay? So that's how the move and fire partially works. Now, if the shield was exposed like that, when they moved forward, instead of firing, he's just going to board your ship. So you have 3 strength. It's whatever strength he is. He is going to remove that many of these cards from the deck permanently. If you ever get to a point where you cannot draw back up to your hand size, you automatically lose. You can counter that. Anybody, who, even if it's not their turn, can throw in the red shirts. Let me see. There they are. Security team. You can reduce the damage by 1. Anybody can check them in. Okay? So move and fire. If it's exposed, you just pull them off the board, and he will do, in this case, 3 damage to destroy that many cards. Okay? And then after that, you check the mission stat. Sorry, I got that out of order. After you play the cards and maneuver your ship, then you check the mission status to see if you've completed it. If you have, boom, draw a new card and do any rewards it said. Then the bad guys move. Okay, then at the very end, you reach in your bag, draw 2 new pieces, roll a die. It shows you whether it goes in section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and put them in there. And then you go to the next player. Okay, there are some special pieces I thought I'd show you. Supernova, roll 1 die, rotate Enterprise that many facings clockwise. System overload, all players discard 1 hit card of their choice. Things like this, it could happen randomly. There's also a few special ships. You have Cloaked Ships. They got that blue border on them. They're interesting because they'll move and flip into cloak, and then they'll roll a die to move around. They'll uncloak and fire, or they'll move up next to you, and if they're uncloaked and their shields facing, they'll cloak again, or if they're open, they'll try to board you. So they're kind of nasty little critters to fight off. Then you got a few of these special battle cruisers. There's instructions down here. One of them, when this enters, all the Klingons will like move forward and shoot. Another one, they'll all rotate to it's like the damage we got repaired. So you got some special. They still take 3 hits, but they affect everybody else in the ship, which if you're familiar with the panic system, you've seen this before. So you do have some of these special markers. So your player character cards that you have, they all have special powers. Here's the greatest captain in the history of Star Trek. Yeah, I'm talking to you Picard fans. Live and learn, dude. It's true. Anyway, when he plays a card over here in the mission, he immediately draws 2 extras. Spock, he draws 2 in the threats. During the draw phase, he draws 3 and keeps 2 of them of his choice and puts the 3rd back in the bag. Scotty can repair. Chekhov can do more damage. Things like this. So you get a little bit of that feel with that. So if you complete the mission, like I said, you're going to pull the mission card and put it over in your successes, and then you'll mark it over here. You have a predetermined number of missions. When you meet the number, you've won the game. In this case, you would have had to have moved forward enough to get this ship up into here, like it said. Get it up at close range, and then put the cards over here. You have various missions at that point. You draw your next one. You recognize Day of the Dove, The Naked Time, Space Seed, Charlie X. These are all episodes, and they all got different rewards or limitations you can do. Nomad's pretty tough because if he gets up in your ship, he just destroys you immediately. He sterilizes the crew. So you try to get through and complete these missions before you're destroyed. If you can complete the number of missions, then you stop drawing threats and try to destroy everybody on the board. And if you do, you win the game. It's like you sailed out of there, yay. Various ways to lose is to have, one way is to have not be able to drop to your hand limit, like I said. Another is to have 6 damaged sections, whole sections with these destroyed sections, I should say, like that. That's how you win. That's how you lose the game. There you go.
All right, we're back. What say you on Star Trek Panic from USAopoly, by the way?
If you want a fun game, it's a fun mechanic. I had a friend call me up and ask me about it. I said, get it. I think your 3 daughters will love it. They're like 12, 10, and I think 8. Said, I think they'd love it.
It's got the solo option. You can play it by yourself.
Yes, I mean cooperative, so any cooperative will play by itself.
You can pull off the Kobayashi Maru in here.
No, you can't. I don't like the game. When I buy a Star Trek game, I want Star Trek. If I want Castle Panic, I'll buy Castle Panic. I'd rather buy Dead Panic because it's better than both of them. But this is not Star Trek. Let me point out why. Remember the Enterprise incident, and I'm a pretty hardcore Trek guy too.
Oh, yeah.
Three Romulan.
And Starfleet
Yes.
battle guy.
3 Romulan battle cruisers surrounds Captain Kirk. How does he get out of it? Does he fire a shot? No. He gets on board, he steals her cloaking device and disappears. This one, you're surrounded by 3 Romulan cruisers. Whoop-de-doo. Get a few cards and blow them up. Kobayashi Maru, the unwinnable situation? I don't think
Unless
so.
you cheat.
3 if you don't need to cheat, it's 3 Klingon battle cruisers. Woo! Tholians, Klingons, Romulans coordinate attack. Since when? Tholians just want to be left alone. They don't like messing with people. Oh, the purpose of a warbird is to board your ship. They got 12 people on. Now, if you say Star Trek 3, point out Kirk had surrendered. They had hostages. There's no way they're going to send 12 people onto a ship with over 400 and take the thing. And I mean, Klingons aren't that stupid.
Now, this is why I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here to defend the concept that this is not a deep game.
This
This is not a simulation. Maybe you thought it was with the panic thrown in there.
No, it's a what it is this is like the dirty word for me. It's a theme pasted onto a mechanic. Because when I looked at this, I played this, and I saw this giant pile of dead bodies to the side, and I'm thinking, really? Kirk can whoop 40 battle cruisers at a time? This isn't the Enterprise. This is the Borg at Wolf 359. If this had been a Borg cube, this would work pretty good. And the other thing that bugs me, and you could say I'm nitpicking, is McCoy and Uhura are making command decisions on who to fire at and how to maneuver the ship. If you're a Borg, you all share a collective mind, so you can do this. But it doesn't work. None of the concepts work as command. The strength of the ships. Since when has tritanium ever been used to fix a shield? It's a metal. It's a metal used to construction. And dilithium is used to control warp reactions, antimatter. I mean, I'm getting nerdy on theoretical stuff here.
That never
You don't
happens.
use it to
That
build
never
shields,
happens.
but we got to have some cards and we'll just slap a name on them. And
I am
it is
with
not
you.
Star Trek.
That is
It's closer to Star Trek. This is what I grew up on.
right.
And I know it has its problems, but when you grow up on this ain't Star Trek.
Right. Now, here's the problem. He thought this was Star Trek. All right. When you see it, Panic, and then you've got USAopoly has come in because, Fireside Games did the original Panic.
Mm-hmm.
Then they did there's been a couple spin-offs of the Panic world already.
Yeah, the Dead Panic's a zombie
Dead
game. It's
Panic,
fabulous.
Exactly, right. But it fits. Now, what I like out of your comparison here is when you bring in the Borg. And I wonder, had this been Star Trek Next Generation Borg panic or something.
It would have sold about 1/1000th of the amount of games. Who wants to be the Borg?
All right. Well, actually, I think it might have been kind of cool, though.
Besides, Kirk's cooler than Picard.
Okay. Well, see, now
Oh!
you're fighting your own argument.
Now the comments
Hey,
are going to fly.
I'm a Janeway fan. Actually, I like Cisco too. He's pretty cool. But here's the deal.
John
so you
Sheridan.
just hit everything, and we've resolved this in that last segment you had. I agree with you that I think the Borg would have been a truer theme, dare I say, for this mechanic. However, you just hit on it. Star Trek, the original, with the old original Enterprise on there, is going to sell, you already said it would sell a tenth less if it was the Borg. So this is going to make more money. And it does have the theme with the original characters. And clearly they got the license. The artwork's great. It tells you exactly kind of that you're in that old world system. So,
I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Do you remember the 70s games where you'd have like, I don't know, or maybe the 80s, the A-Team, these type of games that were just totally lame? I had Emergency, the old game with the fire.
that show.
I love the
They
show.
had a game on it?
Oh, it was horrible. It was roll and move. That's all it was. Roll high and move around. Those games were pathetic.
Sad.
And it's to the point that when I got back into gaming and I saw Battlestar Galactica, I thought more of the same. And then found out, wow, it really does a good job of capturing the first two seasons.
well,
now, we could rant on about what we don't like.
But Battlestar was the first one to take a licensed property and really hit it
really
home.
did good.
Yeah.
Star Wars Rebellion, boom. I mean, it has been done. So there's no excuse for making something that resembles a game from the 1980s that really has nothing to do with the show, and you're stretching it so far to the point of, hey, I can whip 40 Klingons at a time, no problem.
I'll be quiet in 1 second. I just don't think you're getting a panic game with the idea of realism.
No, I didn't want to spend this much money for something that's not Star Trek. I wish I'd have spent the money on Dead Panic. Then I would have got a better game. Because thematic connection is important to me. I'm an Ameritrasher at heart. War game, I don't do elegant mechanics, Eurogamies, and I make fun of them for all that stuff. This isn't a Eurogamy, but it has what I don't like about them in there. It's just you just pasted it on, make whatever you want, Dukes of Hazzard, anything. Oh, Dukes are getting chased, and I don't know. You can make anything with it. Just everything's coming to the middle, and you're trying to fight them off.
So you're a big fan of all the Love Letter spinoffs.
I've never played any of them. I'll tell you what else. Jedi Panic. Remember the scene in the second episode where they're surrounded by all the guys coming at them?
You bet.
Boom, there's your next idea. And you know what? It actually worked better than this.
All right, well, there
But
you go.
it is pretty. The ship is pretty. The shields are cool. That's what draws you in and sucks you in. And hey, you like Star Trek and
So you're saying wonderful marketing, less a true hardcore Trek fan. You're only going to get it if you like the Chrome.
yeah, if you got some friends over who kind of like Star Trek and just want to have a fun time, this is a good game. That's why I recommend it for my buddy. If you want a Star Trek game, this ain't it.
I'm sorry you were confused.
Yes.
We're out. Chief, Judd, bonding with board games. See you guys later.